Hi guys, welcome to AfroSaints Podcast, your show from today onwards. We've been promising a lot about this, right? And we are proud to announce that this is the first episode. And my name is Elvis Kwaramba, I'm your host.
And I'm Peter Komiha, I'm also your co-host.
And I'm Brandon Safali, your co-host.
Today it's sounding like,
Today. I'm ready for this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be part of this show. And I'm hoping that we will influence a lot of guys out there.
Yeah. By today, I meant telling the audience that Brandon has been practicing it.
I see you. Nice.
Yeah. They need to hear your voice. That's why we placed him just behind the microphone. Alright guys, in case you're wondering what this show is about, we are proud to be members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And we're coming to you and saying, yep, we're changing the rules of the game. We decide to spread a little positivity on social media rounds. I know you might come across us while you're scrolling looking for something else. So we hope to disturb your timeline and buy you in as our listener. That's the purpose of this show, right? In the summer.
Yes, Afro Podcast, eh? We are so ready to give you the best information pertaining our beliefs and all that we are about. And today is the day for it.
Yeah, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we are also proud to say that we are here to share our testimonies, to share experiences that may also help, and people can also relate, since we are also humans. We give you something better to scroll on, and maybe you can take a pause, like, subscribe, watch, pull your chair, and listen.
You heard that, guys. That was a cool invite.
A very cool one.
Cool, guys.
I was about to plug in as well.
Now you just gotta jump in on that cool line and say something so that you also include it.
Yeah. He's the cool one, huh? I see.
Don't mind skipping this one.
Alright, but what do you want our viewers to know?
Maybe you're just wondering what is AfroSaints, what AfroSaints is all about, who are we targeting as our audience, what is our plan, our hopes, our purpose, or our mission. So AfroSaints is just a hub for you where we share thoughts, insights, and also beliefs, different faiths, and where we smile and have conversations.
Smiling, yeah.
So I think I would like to add that this is not going to be a gospel class.
Yeah.
This
Definitely
is
not.
a gospel class that went to private school. You know, a gospel class that is so cool.
Oh,
wow.
That was a rhyme.
We
No,
love
what
that.
I meant to say was this is not going to be a class.
Sure.
Yes, I know we are inspiring some out there, but we're not going to be teaching. This is going to be an open conversation based on our beliefs, some of the cool, interesting things that we go through in life. So, yep, like what Peter said, this podcast is going to be a hub for all the saints out there and also all those who are curious to know more about what we are doing, who we are as maybe members of the Church of Jesus Christ. Also, I don't think I've seen any podcast from Africa.
That talks about our church in Zimbabwe,
Yeah,
Africa as a whole.
Yeah, but I'm not bragging.
I see. You're not bragging, yeah.
I'm not bragging.
I think we are bringing a different test to the internet. So I'm pretty sure we are the first.
Internet, please listen right now. Pay attention. Brandon is lecturing you.
Yeah, so we are bringing good vibes. That's number one. We are bringing good vibes to the people. And we want you to know what we stand to believe in. And like they said, we are proud members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Surely could be a long name, but it has Christ in it, and I'm so grateful to be part of this podcast.
They don't know it like that.
They do.
They know it as Cheche Muru.
Yeah, where I come from, eh? Cheche Varungwe.
Be it in Bulawayo or anywhere else, is the Cheche Varu.
Yes, Amakiwa.
What are you saying? What language is that?
Isn't it valid for a white man?
Yeah, we have something close to a foreigner sitting with us.
I don't understand.
Unfortunately, it didn't even save in Zim.
Yeah, that's one thing. We are returned missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
And I served in Zimbabwe Bulawayo Mission.
I served Ghana Cape Coast Mission. Shout out to Ghana Cape Coast people and Ghanaians.
Wow.
Not Ghanaians.
It's
I
Ghanaian.
thought it was Ghanaian.
What is that? Yeah, I also said
Ghanaian.
Shut up. Just like
That's
that.
one lesson I've learned today. Yeah, I served the Harare Zimbabwe mission before it even split.
Okay.
So it was inclusive of what we now know as Bulawayo mission.
Yeah, you remind me also, like I served Ghana Cape Coast before it split. Now there's Takrady Mission, Ghana Cape Coast Mission, and I don't know about.
People are flexing, yeah?
Yeah, but I served in a mission whereby as soon as I left, broke into two. Not broke as such, but split into two. That's an indication of growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he served in Ghana Cape Coast mission. And then
It's split.
it split.
An indication of growth too.
Yeah.
And another
I served in Bulawayo, it hasn't splitted.
still the same.
Still the same, man.
Yeah, it's not a competition. Though.
Indeed,
It's not a
indeed,
competition.
yes.
Shout out to guys from Kadoma, Cowdrey Park, Bulawayo, Nketa, Mutare, Kwekwe, Bindura,
Wow.
Cheetown. Yeah, I think those are all the areas I served in.
Man, that's a lot of areas.
No, come on.
That's
Just
Zimbabwe at
6
large.
That's like 6
Yeah, but that's Zimbabwe at large.
Yeah, I know. But yeah,
How was your mission though?
I miss those days. I miss those days. You know, you really didn't have to worry about anything. All you worried about was finding someone to teach, finding someone to talk to. It was just you and your companion, the whole house to yourselves,
Ish.
the whole car to yourself.
And you missed that.
He's flexing cars, eh?
Yeah, man.
You see, he was a driver.
I wasn't driver.
Ish.
In as much as we were taught how to be responsible later in life, I feel like at that point, under those 2 years, we didn't really have anything to worry about. No responsibilities to take care of. It was just me, my companion, members or people we were meeting. All you had to worry about was which tie am I going to wear. Now, you're thinking which shoes should I wear? Which jacket should I wear?
I think that's.
How's my hair? Or do I even have a better cell phone?
So you're saying that says the difference between a retained missionary and a full-time missionary.
Shout out to all returned missionaries.
I mean, shout out to all the missionaries serving out there too.
Oh yeah.
Those are wonderful people. Those are wonderful people. You are killing it.
Yeah.
You're doing a wonderful job.
We love you.
But as soon as you get back home, hey, we're not saying this to demotivate them. Right? Right?
Facts,
You gotta be clear.
facts,
You gotta
facts.
be clear. They're doing a wonderful job. But when they get back home, I hope they know where to begin. How to start living the life that they had left behind 2 years ago or 18 months ago. Yeah. And it has a lot of expectations too.
Higher expectations.
Higher expectations. Members, as soon as you land back home, they start looking at you like you, Superman, hero.
Salute.
And you didn't like that.
No, I don't think I liked it. I don't think I enjoyed that. But well, I just have to be blind to the fact that that's what they perceive of me or think of me. I just had to move along with life as I thought would be best. But yep,
So with AfroSaints Podcast, we also going to engage returned missionaries. Hey, guys, we would love to talk to you, and someday you could be the one sitting here and.
You mean others different from us?
Oh yeah, obviously.
Other returned missionaries.
Obviously, man, they are actually watching right now. And
I think this platform is gonna be their platform. We're gonna invite some of them anytime soon, and every now and then we'll get one to talk to, and maybe get them to share their experiences.
yeah,
The whole idea is like we gotta make a positive impact on others out there. Be it you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or you're not. The goal is just to spread positive vibes. Man, I think this is gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
you
It's
think?
already great.
You think?
It's already.
Shout out to all
I
those
think-
guys that followed our pages even before we started.
Yo, you
Those are
guys are
like
loyal.
heroes.
You
They
guys are
motivated
loyal.
us to
Yo.
begin this.
Yeah.
They motivated us to get into this. And we would like to apologize. I know we said we're going to drop an episode on the 1st of June. And today is the 9th.
The hiccups.
9 days.
There's a lot of hard work happening
Yeah.
going on.
It's
Shout
a
out to the
lot.
man behind the camera.
Oh yeah, this video was shot by our friend of ours, the friend of the show. What do we call him? He doesn't even have a company. We could have got a business to go and shoot videos for someone.
Yeah, man.
Don't worry, he works for this one. AfroSaints.
Yeah,
company.
he's
Yes.
proud to be ours. His name is Raymond, guys. We'll drop his social media handles in the link in the description of the video, so you can go and check him out.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like and subscribe and also share. And feel free even to share your comments and your thoughts, what you think about our podcast, things you think like maybe we could bring on the show. Guys, we are open to that.
And one thing that I've been getting from a lot of our followers there is, when do you drop an episode? Man, we can't wait to see what you are bringing about to the table. And man, I've been just thinking about that.
What? Tell us ideas.
Exactly. Like these people, they are thirsty to learn from us. They are hungry to know what we are
But we
about.
say we're not going to be teaching.
We're not. That's one thing. We're not going to be teaching. But one thing that I'm certain of is that these people are going to love us because of their engagement they kept actually giving
I have
us.
the confidence.
I just hope we keep to your standards, guys.
Yeah, I
We
just
don't
hope
have
they
your
won't be
expectations.
disappointed. But I know they won't be.
I know
they
too.
won't be. Oh, I know they won't be. I know they won't be. But what motivated us to start this platform was our love for the internet, one. Two, I think still on the first point, we love the internet so much that we noticed that the famous have become to shape certain norms and behaviors online and sort of condoning them to be right. When I say that, I mean social media today, man, it might be as well an embarrassment.
Indeed.
What you find online, what pops up online when you search for something, you're busy spending your time online, you get up here seeing something you don't even want to see. So, by beginning this platform, we were inspired with the fact that we have to spread a positive vibe and a positive message. I mean, we're here trying to show everyone that there is good that you can still use with the internet or social media, post good message without going, of course, what they're doing now.
So we're just giving you something better to watch, something better to listen to, and we just trying to help with, because this is just so natural. It's normal. There is no manuscript here. We're not reading anything. We're just talking. It's a conversation. And we're sharing thoughts and experiences. That's why we want you guys to also be engaged in this, because we know there's a lot we're going to learn from you, and there's a lot you're going to learn from us.
And yeah, we can't wait to really learn from you guys. And as he spoke of our motive or what motivated us, I also thought of how we are going to engage all of the people into a conversation that they've been waiting for. And that alone is something that is very great. We're not going to be just focusing on the members of the church, but also the people in the communities that we are living in. So imagine getting everyone engaged in that positive message or in that positive vibe. It's a blessing. We are trying to spread the light that, what we carry as the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Those are good words. I mean, look at it.
I'm so humble, man.
That's nowhere near humility.
I know. You cannot proclaim to be humble after.
We give you safari.
Safari, humble guy. Humblest member of the podcast.
Right. Yeah, I had a question. Sorry to jump in. So this question is straight to the editor. Why? How did you come up with the name?
The editor is not here, man. Shout out to Omega. She is our editor. Yeah, the editor is not here.
The host, yourself.
And when was the?
I mean, like you came up with this whole idea. In the beginning, for us, we jumped in. We also jumped in. So like, the name AfroSaints. What message does it send? What is AfroSaints?
Afro. Oh yeah, you're asking about the let me say that we thought of other many names. Like what to name, how to name this platform, what name should we give it, and what does it mean. So the word Afro, that's a short term for Africa. And then saints. So the church, remember, it's always the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we as the members, we are saints. But it doesn't mean we are perfect.
Sure.
I think recent teachings and the general conference, I think, and Elder Holland said a saint is someone who strives to be good. So yeah. We are good at trying to be good. That's why we're saints.
So we are.
But geographically, the name Afro was to do with the origination of the podcast.
So we are Africans trying to be good.
So Africans trying to be good.
Africans trying to be good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to do with our motive, trying to be good. It's also got to do with the church, how we are identified, how we are known, and then above all is Africans.
The location.
So this podcast is going to be like about African stories of the saints. African conversations of the Africans.
Too many Africans.
That's why I said Afro.
Africans. Yeah. Okay, straight up.
So anyone in Africa, please get engaged. We're not limited to Zimbabwean
no, but
saints.
We're not
only.
limited to Africa too.
Yeah.
But we just thought of like being authentic that way. It felt original.
Does have the heavy roots. The roots, they're just coming from within.
We are not discriminating.
Man, I can feel it.
Historically, they say Africa is the cradle of mankind.
Yeah.
So we're giving them from the motherland.
Therefore, AfroSaints.
You get it?
I get it.
It wasn't so hard.
Easy peasy. All right. So as AfroSaints, what are our expectations to our audiences? Like, what do we expect those who are watching to do, or I don't know, to say, to think, to know?
That's a good question. That's a good
I
question.
never thought of that.
Yeah.
I did.
You did?
Thank you for you had,
Okay, please help us to get engaged.
Oh, I thought of the question right now.
or you didn't think of the answer.
Well, it will come as I'm sitting.
Yeah, but for me personally, I'm expecting that how the church is perceived within maybe where we come from, I think it's going to change in a positive way. That I think, as from how I introduced the church, Kwaramba Elvis say that the church is known as Cheche Varungu. You see?
That's a fact.
White man's church.
The white man's church. And I think we're trying to bring about how us as Africans are engaged in the gospel and not trying to take away the identity of the church or whatever, but we're trying to bring out that the church is not only for the white people, neither is it for African people, but for everyone as a people. So we're going to look beyond race to bring about what we believe in.
Right, so it's like giving the people a better understanding of the church.
Nice.
Remember, like the scriptures, I think it's Doctrine and Covenants section 1 that talks about bringing the church out of obscurity.
This is it.
We are playing our part. As AfroSaints, we are taking it to another level. So we'll make use of all those social media platforms.
Yeah.
And get them to see and hear the good messages we have.
Yeah, we just want to target like everyone, all ages, especially those who are eligible to using the internet.
Yeah, and also as you say that,
And my grandma can use it.
What
are you saying?
I mean, like, there are those that are like, they don't know how to,
yeah.
search for us.
And also, I was just thinking, Kuti, you would not find anything about the church if you do not search for it. So as AfroSaints Podcast, we're going to be there and easily accessible, man. That's my expectation too, that we're going to flood the internet with positive message and that you won't have to go, typing and stuff for you to look into the church or anything. So I'm just hoping that we'll do that as a
We'll
platform.
be sitting on top of the search results
Imagine.
every day.
The search engines.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, but I feel like we are here to do more than just a show.
Yeah.
We are here to be known for what we are and whom we are and where we come from, right? And as members of the church, I think this is on a great deal. Coming out in the open and say, yeah, here we are, and this is what we believe in. These are some of the conversations that we always engage in. We do a lot. So they should be expecting us. Guys, please expect us every week to give you something. Every episode, every week.
We'll be discussing hot topics, yo. And
You mean hot topics?
yes.
Yes. When you say hot topics, what do you mean? Like,
So we're gonna learn a lot from our audience. They're gonna bring about what they want us to discuss, and that's on its own is something that I am going to be so happy to learn, especially from our audience. And from us, we're going to be trying to engage members and returned missionaries, like we said, and even the people within our communities. They have a lot of expectations from us, as we expect a lot from them.
I
So
feel the pressure.
yeah, you feel it.
I remember one day, when we dropped that short clip,
Yes.
saying behind the scenes, that was a practice. So, these guys showed up in my house and they were like, "Yep, we gotta do it." And I was like, "Guys, I'm scared. If you see how numbers are doing on our Facebook page,
Yeah.
I'm scared. I never thought that it would be that easy or would be accepted that way." So we decided to give it a try. I remember we didn't even have chairs. Buckets.
plastic chairs. We call them.
Yeah, they're called plastic chairs.
Yeah.
Chairs in Africa.
And we had to try it out. We had to try like intros and test if we're good enough for the camera. And I can tell you guys, sitting behind the camera,
It's difficult, huh?
it's difficult.
But here we are.
You don't even know where to begin, like how to start.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you focus on the camera too much, you end up going blank. You lose yourself. You don't know what to say next.
Those are tips to those
are tips.
who are coming up with new videos or who are making podcasts.
Yeah.
Don't look at the camera.
Yeah, don't look at the camera like I'm doing. Don't. Right, but yep, guys, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And talking about fun, the gospel is fun enough. It's fun, right? Isn't it? There's a lot of doubt.
I would love to believe so. I would love to believe so.
What do you mean you would love to believe so?
Man. Gospel being
So
fun.
it's never been easy.
Gospel is not easy, man.
Let's hear about it.
Gospel is not easy. Why do I say so? It's a lot of things that you have to live up to. A lot of beliefs that you have to live up to. In terms of that, you have a lot of things that you're restrained to do. And with that, I'm not saying that that doesn't bring fun, but to someone who's out there, who's just living their life, bringing them into the gospel can be a little bit difficult.
Alright, but let's talk about you. You're saying this is something else. There are a lot of beliefs that you have to leave behind, all sorts of things. You named them. I'm looking at you. You sort of grew up in the church.
Yeah.
What did you leave behind?
Man, that's a lot.
It's not like you're looking back to on something that you were doing and then you left all that and joined the church. You joined when you were pretty young. So
I didn't have much to.
I'm assuming that.
Yeah, I didn't have much to leave behind, except that I think you know that I was a sportsman, and I really enjoyed sporting a lot.
How did that, in a way,
affected
your previous life?
Man, giving up playing sports on Sunday was something else.
Oh yeah.
I had to give up playing volleyball like every Sunday because I was playing for my school team. At the same time, I'm practicing with my uncle who happened to play for a club.
Yeah, your family was pretty good.
So I had to give that up.
I think about volleyball. Let me share something. No, serious. Remember, we went to the same primary school.
Yes.
And I remember your primary coach. So one day I went to try out for volleyball.
Yes.
This coach was asking for new people to join the school volleyball team.
Yes.
So I went and then stood by the, what do you call it? Is it a court or what?
Yeah, it's a court.
Yeah, so I stood by the court, started watching. What's this?
It's a dig, yeah. It's a dig.
Yeah, it's a dig. Yeah. So I stood there, started watching people failing, These guys. In my mind, I was already saying, these guys are losers. How can they behave like this? So I started laughing. Up to a point when it was now my turn. Man,
it was difficult, huh?
Yeah, so one guy missed the ball. I fell to the ground. And I was kicked out. You're not serious. Go away.
For laughing.
You didn't even try to get the ball.
I didn't even hit the ball.
What a failed testament day.
No, I don't know what was happening, but it was funny for me just to watch people miss the ball.
So imagine you say that it was fun you watching the people, right? So how can we bring that into the gospel now? The way you felt as you stood by the court.
No, you tell us. You said there is no fun in the gospel.
Whoa.
And it seems like you are regretting quitting sports.
No. The way you're putting it now, it's kind of different. But I'm just saying that when you get into the gospel, you have to give up a lot of things that you considered fun. Surely in the gospel...
What is it that you would give up?
Volleyball, man.
Yeah, I'm all right, it's fine.
Yes.
I'll give you a fair share of doubt. when it comes to sports. But what else
What else is there to give up?
is there to give up that is fun?
It differs from man to man.
Right.
And I think all of you guys, you had to give up something.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I didn't.
You didn't.
Man,
I didn't.
it depends on your definition of fun. Like,
Okay.
Oh, you thought sport was fun,
Was fun,
right?
yeah, exciting,
So you
yeah.
had to give up that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, what do you find fun in doing? Because I think like most of the things that I find fun in doing, I still do them.
You do.
And yeah, along the gospel, I love drawing, I love art, and I'm still doing that. And also, I love playing around
Is that why
music.
you're wearing this
Oh,
artistic
come
shirt?
on. Yeah, I made this. yeah. So, I mean, like, you can still have fun and you have the gospel and it's all moving
No,
along
but-
together.
But I think what Brendan is saying is true. There's a lot of compromise, if I would like to call it that members do. When you are a member of the church, there's a certain set of standards that you live by. Okay. For example, once you join the church, you already know that you're not gonna be definitely a sportsmanship.
On a Sunday.
Honestly, yeah, because you won't go out to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
You won't.
And most games.
So that means you have to
it's
give
Sunday.
up. Sports are always played on Sunday. Saturday for us it's a normal day. We have to go to work, though it's a half day. For some, it's even a full day. So companies and the country, I don't know if it's happening everywhere in Africa, but Saturdays, well, they sort of like look like the normal Wednesday or the normal Thursday.
Yeah.
Of course, people will be like, yeah, it's a weekend, but it will still be, I think, normal.
Yeah.
And also, not just sports. There are a lot of things that you feel like you can't do as members of the church.
Yeah, I would love to
Because
go
they come against or they conflict with what you're supposed to
I will
do.
share this. as an experience when I came back from my mission.
Oh, yeah.
I got a job.
When you came back from Bulawayo,
Exactly.
you were still in Zimbabwe.
I was still in
And Bulawayo is near.
Zim. Shout out to Bulawayo, man. It's amazing. It's an amazing place. I came back from my mission, and I got a job that wanted me to work on a Sunday, and it was difficult.
You're not going to name the company.
No.
No, shout out.
But
You want to
Man.
shout out the company?
Shout out to the you know your guy.
You know your guy. This guy had to quit on you.
so imagine when you come back from a mission, you're stranded, man. You can just do anything just for you to maybe keep up with the life that you was living. You want to pay tithes, you want to maybe become a good son, or maybe not to be asked, especially of the high expectations that everyone has on you.
Yeah.
So you want to maybe become self-reliant. So me getting that opportunity was like, yo, I'm gonna go for it. And then, man, one Sunday I'm working, it felt different, and I didn't go back. That's my experience soon after mission. So as you become a member of the church, you have to leave certain principles. You have to leave certain things behind for you to follow the Savior. Take up the cross and come unto me, man. So a lot of sacrifices happens in the gospel. It's not just going to be a free life that you're going to live. You're going to live a life for you and the
But,
people around you.
Okay, sorry just to come in. But what do you say to those guys that are already working on a Sunday?
And they are members
And
of the
they're
church.
members of the church. Like we see a lot of members that have to either come to church for just sacrament meeting and then leave for work. What do you say to that?
I would say keep praying for God to reveal some doors for you, that you may be able to enjoy the blessings He has for us every Sunday, man. And I'm not saying go quit your job like I did. We have to remember to just pray to God and fast if necessary Fast so that God can bring about many blessings for you and opportunities that you may dwell on a Sunday for family and
I
stuff.
think you're reminding me of something that once happened like many years ago when I started working. This was my first job after mission. I remember what? Oh, so we got employed and we're not told what our off days were. Right? And for me as a member of the church, I'm like, yeah, Sunday should be my off day. I should be able to go to church.
Yeah.
So it took us 3 months to know that, oh yeah, now we can have an off day during the week. So they would require us to come in every day. And in between those 3 months, I remember one time, it was a Friday. I just got bored at work. Something, disturbed me. And then I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling too good. I can't work. So giving them an option to send me home, not to send myself home. So they were like, yeah, he's not too good today. He's not in the mood. Something is really wrong with him. Please go home, right? So I went home. And I remember that during those first, now it was like 2 months after I started working. During those 2 months, I was bothered with the idea that I'm missing church a lot. I started feeling like I'm falling away. Like I'm no longer me, myself. Like, I don't know. It wasn't just normal. It wasn't just normal. So the question I always had in my mind before this incident was, I'm getting lost here. So that weekend, I ended up taking the whole weekend off. I was not feeling too well. So
Yeah.
they had to.
I'm just gonna take the weekend
They were
off.
like, I was like, I'm just gonna take the weekend. I will rest this Friday afternoon. I remember I got home like in the afternoon. I was like, I'm gonna rest. Come Saturday, I will rest. Sunday, I have to go to church. So I did this. This was funny. I said to myself, but I was always fasting and asking for a job from God. So if that's the job that He gave me, even if I miss work on a Sunday to go to church, let Him take it. Let Him take it. I don't know. I prayed for this job. I asked for this job, but if He's gonna ask me to miss church and I'll lose it because I missed church or I chose to go to church and miss work, let me lose it. I don't care. Whatever happens is whatever happens. So I got back on Monday to work and I was asked to write a report.
I hope you wrote exactly what happened.
I don't think I did. Well, that's not being exemplary, of course, but yeah. They gave me a plain paper to write a report. I don't know, I don't really remember what really happened, but I ended up not writing that report. But in my mind, even up to the day, I was like, yep, I took that day. Oh my God.
And it felt good, right?
If I'm going to lose this job because I'm trying to go to church.
It felt good, didn't it? Going to church.
It did. So after time, we started getting our off days. And I remember the first time I got an off day was on a Thursday. So I talked to this guy who was a friend. I asked him, hey man, I really need a Sunday. And you gotta be convincing. I'm like, remember Sunday, people only wake for like 8 to 1. And on a Thursday, it's 8 to 5. It's really an advantage for you if you get Thursday and you let me take Sunday. So that's what we did with swap. And after that, it was okay.
Yeah, so I can relate to you guys. There's also a point in time where I was working and then I missed this one Sunday. Man, I quit it within a week. Just because of one Sunday. So this is us. This is about church. There is always a special feeling when you're in church.
Yeah.
And when you don't go, you always feel like something is missing. I can count the number of times I missed church. And I can tell you how I felt. It was a different feeling. growing up where you don't miss church, before it was just because, mom will say like, everybody to church.
To church.
Man, shout out to my uncle though. Man, the guy played a very important role in me coming to church every Saturday.
Shout out to uncle.
My granny will be like, everyone goes to church in this house. No one is left behind.
Mm-hmm.
You get the point?
Yes.
So you wake up on a Sunday, all of you have to get ready. You have to prepare every needful thing that is needed and leave. So if that day you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and be like, I'm not going to church, my uncle will come after you. He's sent after you.
They'll be fine.
You'll be like, shout out to Uncle Chris. So Chris was told, hey, Elvis doesn't want to go to church today.
He show you the road to Damascus.
So in a way, out of fear of getting beaten, I got used to the thing that every Saturday is church.
And the results.
Eh? The results, man. I was young. So I guess we needed that correction. Or else I would have been lost.
So now you see that, you have to leave something behind. You have to sacrifice something. And within the gospel, surely there is a lot of fun that's happening. Like now, look at us. Man, this is fun, isn't it?
But is this funny for you?
Oh, come on.
Compared to what you feel like you left behind?
Well, what I left behind, if it was so important, I would have gone back.
Man, he continues to speak like he joined the church when he was older.
I know you know the talent, Elvis. I think you know the talent.
Even my sister was.
I remember going with your sister to Borodo to receive a trophy that we won.
Now,
I'm glad you're not my brother-in-law. So.
You're my brother, man. But we were that good. At a tender age, we were that good. And I'm telling you that
there was a lot of promise in that talent. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of clubs were looking into us. And we could have done maybe a lot of things, but if it was that important for me, I think God would have made a way. So I'm grateful to where I am today. And guess what? I'm having fun in the gospel. And with you, my brothers, and everyone that's watching as a member of the church. So there is fun in the gospel. And there's a lot of sacrifices in it. So it just depends with where you are standing for that moment.
It's hard to be a Christian, right?
Like you said, saints, you gotta try to be good, man.
Even the Savior said it himself, you'll be hated.
You'll be hated.
But how did you feel? Like, was there someone who had to tell you that, Brandon, you can't do this. You can't continue with your sports. It doesn't allow you to be at church on a Sunday.
My grandmother, man.
And how did you feel?
Yo.
Did you hate it for the...
Obviously, I was a kid, man. And I would see that my uncles now, they were pros, right? So they were allowed to just do what they gotta do. But
also,
me,
you were the special one.
I was like, she told me that, every time you wake up, you're gonna go to church on a Sunday. And she would make sure that we come to church together. But eventually, you know me, I loved volleyball so much. I knew that my uncles would leave like around 10, 11. And church back then was 3 hours. So I would come and sit with my granny in the church, do the sacrament stuff. After that, I would then go back to my uncles, man. But eventually, I grew a desire to just stay in the church, and that's what kept me until now.
I love the fact that you said I grew a desire to stay in the church.
Yes.
So before that, you were only coming to church because you were scared.
Granny was pushing me. I was afraid to be beat.
I think a lot of us can say that. Right? Most of us, we don't even really know why we're coming to church when we're young.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's
I know why I was coming to church. I know why I was.
You knew why you were coming to church.
Your mom was my primary teacher.
Uh-huh.
And she was giving out biscuits. That's why I was coming
just
to
a
church.
different purpose. And
Would you stay for biscuits now? Would you stay for biscuits now?
No. Actually, I don't even like biscuits that much
Anymore?
Yeah.
You had them a lot when you were young.
So we need more biscuits to have more memories.
But now primary kids are getting like lollipops.
You see, now we have candy.
We have candies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it paid off.
I miss those days. Just to give a glimpse to the audience of how those days were like. I remember would come to church, get in the sacrament meeting. After the break, we go up, split to the classes. I remember primary was like 2 hours.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that was long and boring. So we'd go behind the chapel. Those who know the Tafara chapel would go behind and we start playing outside. Not even with the teacher, like we would skip class to go and play.
And make your own class.
But you would always remember that 5 minutes before time, it's business time.
Okay.
So we get a rush back in.
Get them biscuits.
To receive the rewards for coming to church.
Imagine.
But then it's changed. It changed. Growing up now as a deacon. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you this. As a deacon, by that time I was the only deacon in our ward. I was the only deacon, so I was getting the special treatment.
Okay.
In his generation, he was the
deacon,
only.
president and the deacon.
He is the deacon, quorum president, councillor, secretary, and he is the deacon.
Yeah, I was the oldest quorum. No, not the oldest quorum. The deacon's quorum president. And it was just a quorum consisting of myself and I and myself. It was just me.
All of you.
It was just me. All of me.
Imagine.
Yeah. So I would get special treatment when it comes to activities, man. All the guys were older than me. They were told to be like, yeah, no, leave that to the youngest guy. Leave that to the youngest guy. And I was the youngest guy, so
You get everything.
if it was extra food,
It was going to you.
Just mentioning the food. This is now it's food. Still
Man.
food.
that's what we cared about.
Look at him.
No, tell me, be honest. During your like 12, 13 years, yeah, I mean, when you were like 12 or 13, what is it that motivated you to come to church besides food and the activities?
I was about to mention that.
And you put it beside.
We had youth camps. So yeah,
Yeah, but why were they so significant? Youth camps.
just 3 days and 2 nights of eating.
2 nights of feasting.
Is it still happening today?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's been a long time.
It's
Things
happening.
have
Is
changed.
it?
It's happening. It's happening.
It's still happening.
It's just like different,
Setups.
Back then we had it like 3 times in a year.
Yeah, I remember every school holiday
We do
meant
something.
that there was going to be a church camp. Something.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in a bus. With
In a
a
bus
suitcase.
with everyone singing.
Everyone singing.
And you'll be
Excited.
late. Tafara was always late.
And there's a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
A lot of people.
to all those who are watching will remember like the day old camps that used to happen like Prince Edward. You know, the first editions of the FSY, EFY, especially the 2011.
2011. It was fire, though.
Tafara would always come in a
My
bus.
guy, you were still in
I was
primary.
still in primary. I was looking forward to it. It was like next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
But 2012, I was there.
2012, it was awesome. And 2013, 2014. You also had 2015 camp,
Yeah.
2016.
2016. FSY, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, like, now they have it after every, I think, 3 to 4 years.
I
Wow.
remember one. Do you still remember one that we ended up having this jelly?
That tasted like soap?
Oh man. You see, the food part. It's always the food.
No,
And then I remember exactly this camp. We took all those candies
Candies.
to our dome. And We started-
they're called gummy bears.
Gummy
Yeah,
bears.
gummy bears. Gummy bears.
Sour ones.
Man, trust me.
I remember in our dormitories where we were sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, they were now used as weapons.
We-
We throw them in the dark, hoping that they will, hit someone. That's how bad they were.
Yo. Gummy
But
bears
we're
became
grateful.
weapons, eh?
I mean, we're grateful.
So right now we're just looking into a phase where we say church was always good and has always been good. Moving from a point in time where you were in primary to a point in time where you were a youth.
Yeah.
Maybe we can move a little bit into a time where you became a young single adult.
Young singer.
Because I'm feeling like there have been changes in terms of like the reasons why we were coming to church.
Yeah, there was. There were actually. So fast forward to gummy bears. We'll get to the point where now we're young single adults. In our generation, and my best friend by then, his name is Taco. Shout out to Taco, he's in essays right now. Man, we sort of like moved away from the youth to young single adults at a tender age. When we were like 17, we were already being called to, like, all these guys were now coming for us. They were like, yeah, you guys are old enough, you need to start. Yeah, you need to start preparing for this move. You need to start figuring yourselves out and how you're going to be part of this organization. So we went in. I remember the first time we attended the institute. Man, we felt really inadequate. There were guys who were speaking good English, not the one we were talking. We were not even speaking English. There were people who would speak good English. At the time with just like a high school qualifications, you feel. I remember at one point I felt like I had to carry a dictionary to
Institute.
Cross-check every word.
Yo, man.
No, there were a lot of these guys, but I'm proud to say that the guys eventually motivated us to be better, because we had to find somehow a way to fit in.
I suppose you had role models by then.
Yeah.
When I grow up, I want to be like him. He has good English.
And by then, imagine, we didn't really have a teacher for institute. Well, there was a teacher, but we're old enough to teach ourselves. So we would take turns each week, teaching one another. You taking this chapter, this guy taking that chapter. Teaching these guys was scary, man.
So you had to teach them?
Yeah.
At some point?
At some point, yeah, I did. I think I did twice, if I remember very well. We had to. But I don't want to lie to you. That class was a wake-up call for me. To study more, to go and search the scriptures even further. I knew that I was a competitor when it came to like knowing the scriptures in seminary, but when I went to the YSAs, I felt like I haven't even studied.
Man.
Like they were really that good. And one more thing, now it wasn't just about food. It was about now dating, going to we had what we call conventions. They were like a bit more mature
than FSY,
than youth camps and stuff. So yeah, there you would see that we are growing up now. We've grown. You would see a different kind of lifestyle. Yeah. So I guess we're beginning to feel like adults. Yeah, and we were.
I'm just looking at this. You can actually see transitioning. You can actually depict it, like you're saying. You can actually see yourself as a primary kid, and can still remember the things that you used to do within the church, and you moved from that to become a youth in the church, a deacon, a teacher, and a priest, and eventually you became a single adult or a young single adult, I would say. And here you are now.
If you say single adult,
And I'm like, wow, man.
It was then.
Yeah.
Now,
Look at you.
Different state.
Now, so
how do I look at myself?
now, do you?
The future.
You are the future, right?
He was the future.
You are the future of the church,
He is
isn't
the
it?
future.
So, I think every youth out there looks up to maybe you or me. What would you have to say to that youth that is just getting into maybe deacon's quorum or teachers or priest? What would you have to say to that youth?
I think before I even move on to what I would say, I'm more afraid of the youth these days.
Wow.
I'm afraid for their lives. Growing up, man, I lost many friends who fell away from the church.
Yeah.
Not because they...
Your generation had a lot of young men and women who came to
because
church.
fast forward from the time I was the only deacon, we ended up like being many, like fully constituted quorum, and we moved. We're boys of the same age, so it will always be my birthday, the next guy's birthday. So we moved through the stages together. But along the way, most of my guys started going different ways and taking different paths. So by the time I even applied for my mission, I think all the guys that I was with when we were still deacons, teachers, priests,
They were gone.
yeah, they skipped the processes.
Man.
They were now somewhere.
It's a sad story indeed.
They were now somewhere. I know, but that's life. That's life.
They're still free to come back.
Yeah, of course.
If you're watching, and
many of them are coming. Many of them are coming.
that's-
Yeah, many of
that's-
them are coming.
that's
I can't
progress.
speak of any names now, but yeah, they're coming. They're coming back. They're coming back.
Which is a good thing. So what would you have for the youth? Since you fear for their lives actually, what would you say maybe to encourage them to keep hold of the iron road?
Man, I think let me dedicate the few words I'm about to say to my grandma. My grandma did a lot in my life to get to a point where I am right now. So I think it's that kind of education we got at home, those kind of teachings that shaped me into what I am. I remember growing up at church or even everywhere else, even at school. We were not involved in a lot of stuff that had nothing to do with church. We kept busy by the church leaders, man. Now I see why they were even doing it. There was a lot of activities, a lot of camps, a lot of, all sorts of activities were there. You just have to come to church one day to watch church videos.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one day you just have to come and be like, yeah, it's a meeting. Like you had a lot to do at church. And I feel like in a way that protected me from the outside world. So, but then my friends, most of them, they got lost because of whatever attention they started paying of what's happening out there.
Yeah.
So they were lost to
I
something else.
I really get you, because I remember as youths we would go for cleanup campaigns. That was fun. It was not maybe something that most of us really looked forward to because we would be just putting on those beams, picking up litter and all that. It wasn't as maybe what these youths wants today. Maybe they don't want to go for cleanup campaigns. But I would urge maybe all the leaders out there to engage the youths in a lot of activities within the church, because the world is doing the most to attract them. So we gotta do the most to retain them.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's a call to everyone to just watch over their brother or their sister. Either you're a leader, you're not a leader. either you're a member of the church or you're not. Because I'm just thinking about, we have youths or members of the church that have parents that are not members of the church. And I know there are a lot of them that are good, that are supportive. We have a lot of them who even went on mission.
Yeah.
And their parents are not members. A big shout out to them for all the love and also the understanding. And also I feel like, as we've been looking into like how we've been transiting from like being a primary, going to a youth, young single adult. For us, we're still there.
Man, we're still we're still young single adults.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like sometimes it always comes with phases. I can say it's us developing the maturity and taking it in different levels and stages. And I can say like to most of us, we gotta learn to let the process, sink and help us. You gotta allow yourself and be patient.
Allow the process to change you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I feel it's all about how we mature in the gospel, how we.
No, but as a youth, someone is still growing up who has got like tons of questions. Why should I be doing this? Why should I be doing this? It's hard for the person just to conform and submit to any process whatsoever. Unless it's beneficial,
It takes a lot of effort, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the fun part about the church. There is a lot of programs that involves everyone. I mean, look at programs we had like the Duty to God,
Yeah.
the young women personal progress. You see like how the youths were setting goals and making plans on things they really want. They might not have a full understanding, but they'll get there. And still, like right now.
Do you want to hear that the experience? So, in regards with the Duty to God, you just reminded me of something. So I remember I was a deacon in one of the goals of that particular month we're in was asking me to bear testimony in the sacrament meeting. So here I was seated in the congregation and I didn't even pay attention to anything that was happening. No, serious. Like you get to a point like whoever is conducting the meeting will be like, the floor is open to everyone. Please come and bear testimony.
So that's the first Sunday.
Yeah, and then at this time, like maybe 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before, the concluding person to bear testimony will be this presiding officer, and then we'll close the meeting. Yeah. So here I was in that meeting. I kept on procrastinating, tapping my feet to the ground. I'm like, should I go?
Trying to be courageous, eh?
Yeah, trying to gather all the confidence again. So I remember just standing up at a point where I felt like, people are no longer flocking to the podium. So let me go.
My turn.
My turn.
Let me go there.
So I went there, sat down. I didn't even realize that it was the bishop bearing his testimony.
So that was the last.
final.
So I sat down. After him, quickly rushed to the podium.
Oh man.
I had to bear my testimony, man. I needed that duty to God to be signed by a leader. That I've done so, that I've accomplished the goal.
Could you reach the podium?
Yeah, I think no, we needed that.
The stand.
Funny stand.
I can imagine him so short and reaching for the mic.
Exactly.
After the bishop.
So after the presiding officer. So got there, my testimony, and I was done, and I went back to sit down, and I didn't even notice anything wrong.
Nobody laughed.
So you know who brought it up?
Yeah.
What's his name? Brother Rose.
Yes.
In a priesthood meeting, he was like, today the concluding person to bear his testimony was Brother Kwaramba.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, did I do that?
And you had a recollection of everything that happened.
Yeah, but when all this thing was going on, I didn't even realize that's what I did. even when I did it, I doubt that I even heard that Bishop was the last person to pay his testimony.
No, you said it yourself. You're not paying attention to anything.
I was. All I had in my mind
He was
I
paying
need to
attention
do this,
to himself.
get the book signed, and I'm done.
It was
So-
about the book.
So that helped you to stay focused within the organization, right? I think. Do you think today the youths are still doing duty to God?
Yeah, no, so this is how it works. Like there is always like a new program
That is given
that
out.
works for a specific generation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like before we were young men during your time, there was a different journey to God.
Yeah, I know.
Then came ours. We thought it was the
Even
coolest.
before us, there was something.
And
else.
right now they have, isn't it the children and youth program?
Yes.
Children and youth.
Man, that one is like dope.
It's fire. It's fire.
It's good.
Yeah.
So the church will help you to stay in track. Only if you are like into it.
Willing to do it.
We
I was just here to the memory when we were at Prince Edward's camp. So we were given a task to do as Tafara. And guess what? We're supposed to act a drama.
it's a play, man.
A drama. And
No, do you still remember the
Elvis.
play we did?
Elvis. Elvis was
Lehigh.
Leah. And guess what? He's teaching the people to repent. And what would we do as the people?
Child.
we would throw papers at him.
These guys had like
Paper
papers.
sticks?
Yeah, papers that they folded to symbolize stones.
Yes.
And
So-
then some with like these big cardboard box.
To symbolize a
Symbolize
knife
like a
or
stick
sword
or
and something like that. Yeah.
clubs and stuff. Yeah.
Man, so I'm just depicting that now. Like, yo, it still plays in my head. Are the youths getting the same
No, but
thing?
were you not my son in that?
I was your son. I
know
was
my
Levi.
children. I know my children.
I was your son. And guess what? Yeah, I still can remember. And that's how I got engaged, with reading the Book of Mormon. So, with all that is happening, I had to remember everything because Elvis was just there. Behold, ye children of Israel! standing tall, man.
And
So,
who wrote the play? You know who wrote the play?
who did?
It was Brother Gouveia.
Wow.
He wrote
Shout out to Gouveia, man.
He wrote the play. I remember, getting the scripts. Like, you were going to be Lehigh. There was this young woman who was going to be
Saraya and stuff.
Saraya.
That was Nephi, man. Yeah.
Who was Laman and Lamo?
Wasn't it?
I think there was James.
And Richard. Something like
Richard.
yes. Man, it was fire.
So we got the script. And it was the first time acting in English,
Wow.
Yeah.
But that was something.
And we won an award for performing.
we did, right?
Yeah, we did.
You did good.
Yeah, we did. And it was a fire camp that season for us. And I'm just grateful that I,
I wish
had
we
to
still had pictures of this. Whoever has pictures of those.
You should have
Drop
been, you should have become like an internet enthusiast back then. I think we would have.
The edge, man.
Yeah, because you would have kept all the records within maybe a certain drive or certain. I don't know.
I'm sure I didn't even have an idea.
No,
You didn't
It
have.
was gonna
Yeah,
be-
you didn't.
No,
have
we're
an
still even poor to
afford
get
anything
to afford
like
a
that.
smartphone
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
But-
Besides, there were these tiny phones.
Yeah. But
it was good.
We had
Like-
fun. We had so much fun.
You had more reason to be at church.
You see?
Not on a Sunday only.
Yeah.
Most of the times you mingle, you do all these plays and it was really fun.
And back then we would try our best to work with the missionaries. That was something else. We would make sure that we keep the missionaries.
Working with the missionaries was such a flex.
Imagine, like I'm the one who's going with the missionaries on
Oh,
Tuesday.
it is I on Wednesday.
It felt like you were the real deal.
Exactly. Man.
You were shining in the streets. You're like,
Oh, look at this brethren.
Man.
I can speak English.
You see, I'm with the white people today. Cheche Warungu.
I'm the Murungu.
Yeah, but
So what changed?
I think
What changed?
nothing.
COVID came.
So you see,
No, but
like,
serious. I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know, I
It
noticed
changed a lot of
big
things, yeah.
difference
After.
after COVID. Like the church after the COVID era,
Mhm.
it became so different. For one, we couldn't even sing properly.
properly.
We can't even now properly. Yeah.
Back then people would sing. I remember when I was still in the choir, man. People would sing. You know, the state choir, the Harare Zimbabwe state choir. Man, I was part of that. Every state conference, you get excited. We're putting on a suit and this tie, a new tie. It was different ties, either red tie or whichever color. Yeah, people would sing. Even back to wards and units, people would sing. I remember most of the hymns back then we learned them because of people who were interested in music, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that affected like the whole world.
I don't know about the world at large, but in this country, I feel like COVID did mess it up.
Yo, COVID did us wrong, man.
Maybe it was a time for people to now start exercising more faith
Yeah.
in such a crisis. I mean, since then, now you see the church is more like home-centered, church-supported. You know, now it goes back to our homes where we are growing up.
But I miss the good old days of like home evening. Every Monday.
Another family coming to your house and you would have fun.
Do you still remember when you started doing clusters?
Yeah, we
Like would go and gather at a certain house.
at a certain house and then
Yeah.
you enjoy.
Popcorn. The
Imagine.
food.
Of course.
I loved. What was FHE without the food? A good cheer.
It's a food maniac, huh?
Man,
No, but it was for food, man. Those days.
I wanted
when
to
we
be
still
like
youth-
Unified.
Yeah.
When we were still with it was for food. I remember we came up with the names like FCC. Do you still
Food
remember?
clearance committee.
Oh man. Wow. This guy's.
No, serious. We came up with that word.
Yeah.
Like food clearance committee. Their duty was just
To
go
clear
after
food.
the remainders, the
The
leftovers.
leftovers.
Yeah, they would make sure their pots are clean. So if you're part of the FCC committee, ish.
You had to have
I
a
hope
big
you were
time.
doing the dishes.
Yeah.
After that.
No, I mean that was also another thing that came with big part of FCC.
Yeah.
Because you had to do the dishes, clean up.
You didn't mind that part. You
Yeah.
just
I
wanted to dig in the food.
Yeah.
Right,
Man,
that's
so
good.
as I engaged with one of our followers today, they say that you guys are gonna become big, and you becoming big would mean that most of the things that I found fun within the gospel are going to be put within this platform. So I'm just thinking about that. Like, man, what are we gonna do when we become that big?
I don't know.
Let's wait for the time to come.
We'll cross the bridge.
Everyone has a
When
vision.
we get there.
It's not like we wanna be famous.
Yes. No. It's not
But,
that.
yeah.
But I'm just saying they have a vision for us. And like you were, Lehi, in that drama that we had to play, you had a vision that you needed everyone to get engaged in.
This guy getting scripture.
Imagine.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
that-
Nephi.
Oh, Nephi.
Oh, Nephi.
I remember the words of like Jerusalem, woe unto you, Jerusalem, for you are about to be destroyed. And what?
Repent.
Led back to Babylon. Something.
So this is the fun in the gospel, man. I mean, the gospel
You see,
is fun.
so the gospel
So these are
is
just
fun.
like simple principles and fundamentals of the gospel. These are just like stories in the scriptures that we were
that
put
kept
in
us
place.
alive.
Yeah,
And
us alive.
yeah, it helped us grow our faith, man. And even when COVID came, yes, surely it brought a lot of changes,
Yeah.
but our faith actually grew stronger to where we are today.
Yeah, it is good. I feel like it's good when you have something to hold on to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you still have friends that reach out, when you still have leaders to look up to, when you still have examples, So we hope like this is going to be the platform for you. Like we are also reaching out to people. I know, like I feel like there's someone out there, maybe who's been to church, but now
they stopped coming.
They stopped. But
Man.
I know they still have that feeling that something is missing. For whatever reason, it's known to them.
I remember being called COVID missionaries because that's when we served our missions.
You're also a COVID missionary.
You see?
Well, you served during COVID.
Yes, man. It was a difficult.
How was it?
It
But
was
I think
difficult.
in a way, you guys changed the whole mission game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Technology was introduced.
And
And
time,
Good for
there was
he's acting like he
Good for
didn't
you.
use it.
Man,
But
I mean, like during COVID, man, technology was that small phone.
For you
shared with
guys.
your companion, the 123 BC.
yeah, for me,
Yeah.
that's what we had. I remember at one point they tried to use the ZTE phones. There's these smartphones that were coming out by that time, 2014, late 2014, yeah. So they wanted to try it out and see how it works. Man,
It failed.
It failed. It ended up being a disaster. Like for us, it was that crazy. Unlike missionaries of today, you guys freely use Facebook. Like you are now being told to use all social platforms. For us, it was typical P-Day, Monday, where you just have to go into the internet cafe, message the mission president, report whatever you want to report, email family. That's if you had. For us, it was actually way different. I mean,
you can actually see the differences though. But when I got into the mission, we were introduced to technology, so we had to learn how
but
to
did you get
use.
some training?
Yeah. We safeguards. There was training to using a mission device and all that.
So
And
I
one interesting
feel I
thing.
hired the right people. For
One
this.
one interesting thing was that 4 eyes on the device, man.
eyes,
So yeah, I
yes.
couldn't send anything without his consent, and whatever I would type, he would have to read and make sure that we sending out the right message. So I think being called a COVID missionary, it was a difficult thing, man, to just sustain. But wearing mask, nobody knew you for like a whole transfer. You'd go maybe in a certain ward, and they would not know you
But you were home, my guy.
because you're putting on a mask. You see, so you were not allowed to.
But what happened when you had to stand in front of the congregation and say something? Were you able to?
It was wise for you to keep a mask.
I think
Yeah.
it had phases.
Yeah.
There was a time you could still gather, and there was a time
Yeah, those
Were you not allowed?
you were able to.
Level 1, level 2, level 3.
I remember like back there in Ghana, the phases when they came, there was still a point where you could, gather as like members of the church. It got to this point where you just find a family where you want to eat sacrament. You just go to a specific family, and that's it for Sunday. Until like my end, man, they were like these people who thought like we were doing church at these places, reported us to the police, and then the police were looking for us.
Serious?
But I tell you, we never stopped doing missionary work during COVID.
Yeah, that's
Personally,
one
and
thing.
my companions during that time, there were some areas where they limited the way they were proselyting and all that. For us, man, we never stopped. And it was during COVID when the numbers went higher. During COVID, the baptisms went high. I don't know why, but maybe it was just
So I feel
miracles.
like you were really successful during COVID, no matter what.
We were really successful during COVID.
But
Yeah.
one question though, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
We're scared for our lives when you're back home. How did you guys feel? How did you guys handle it? Were you at one point even scared that who COVID is gonna get me?
At the airport, you're like going
Run
through
for
the
your
machine.
life!
You're thinking like, okay, they're gonna quarantine me, find me positive, COVID positive, but nah. But I would say I was scared coming home. Of course, the flight, you know, the heights, the noises, and all that. And more scary, when I came home, I wasn't sitting next to anyone.
Oh, you alone.
I was just alone, and then like there's 3 seats, and I was just like in the middle, you know, just like flexing the chairs and all that. But I mean, like reaching home, now it was a different thing. It was no longer the COVID that I was afraid of. It was now trying to adjust to a returned missionary life.
I know the feeling.
You know, when they sent us home, they're like, okay, you were learning from Preach My Gospel. Now it's time you go and learn from Leave My Gospel. And, you know, you just reach home and, you know, like you mentioned earlier on, like people are like, okay, our hero is back. And you're like, okay, I'm Superman with no superpowers.
Yeah, Superman. Back at home.
Yeah, but also, I was just excited to serving a mission. So, in any way, my mission president told me that if you take care of God's business, you take care of yours. So, I just said that in my heart. Amen. So yeah, you be a little bit afraid, you know, but sometimes what drives away fear is faith. So we had to grow so much faith in order for us to work and do our part as missionaries.
You know, someone once told me this, like, you know, for a white missionary, it's really hard for them to adjust the first 3 months on mission. For someone from Africa, it's really hard for them to adjust the first 3 months getting home. You know? And I witnessed that. That was.
I feel like, when we go out there at that young age and being from Africa, third world, when you go out there, you're like, this is me, this is everything. And you are out there focusing on that. You really don't have much support back home, I would say.
Yeah.
Only a few of us have like financial support when they get back home. Most of us will come back to where we were, or even worse circumstances, and then try to find their way out. So I guess that's why you were saying the first 3 months back home will be even harder for an African. Because it's different like that.
Yeah. But, you know, the Lord is always on your side when you serve.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
He is.
Yeah, there's always a time, like, you gotta adjust to everything. I think, like, every day of our lives, man, we have to adjust. You know, adjust. Not to compromise your standards, but adjust to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, what do you say to all the returned missionaries out there?
Big shout out, you did great.
Heroes. What do you say, Brent?
For me, these guys are soldiers, man. Hey, you guys did a wonderful job. Look it up. Yeah. Hey, I have you at heart. All the work that you've done, whether in Zimbabwe, South Africa, or anywhere, we can see the progress. Especially in you guys, you and me, we served in Zimbabwe. So yeah, you did your part in Ghana. Thank you so much for that.
No, we love you.
Yeah.
There's no discrimination.
And I love Ghana.
Yeah, look at this.
We saved home.
Look at this. Us serving home
you were home.
is helping us to get a temple.
I mean, you were just like where you were supposed to be, where the Lord wanted you to be.
Yeah.
That's home for you in Ghana, my guy.
I love Ghana.
Yeah, so
look into your history. You might be from Ghana.
Is it because of my name? They actually thought I was from around, you know. Not just the skin, but I mean
flexing, eh? Flexing.
the name, you know. What's the name? Elder Komiha.
No, we'll be like.
They were like, from which region?
No, we'll be like, you are a Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. My friend,
Ghanaian.
we'll call you Ghanaian, eh?
Ghanaian.
But yeah, I have all the returned missionaries at heart and those that are serving. Man, you're doing a marvelous job.
Right.
And I think every one of us here feel the same.
I mean, there's something, most of the things, you gotta stick to them. That's what's gonna keep you going.
Yeah.
We've been told, like, there's a reason you had different companions, learning different things.
My guy, don't bring that up, please.
You have issues.
Yes, I know where it's going. No, but you can go.
It's not going there, man. Come on. I just mean, like, all those, mission is the greatest university one can attend in their lives.
Yeah.
You learn life lessons.
President Hinckley said it's the greatest investment that any young man or young woman can make.
Amen to that. Yeah, so, I mean, you just gotta do your best. And also to prospective missionaries. Yeah, you just go learn and become a missionary. And once a missionary,
always a missionary. So the goal is becoming.
Yeah.
Go and become.
Yeah. Straight up.
Mashoko makuku.
Man, I feel good.
Me too.
I feel great. I feel great. All right, guys. Thank you so much for this time. But please hit us in the comments if you have any question or any subject that you feel like hearing on this podcast. And about what we talked about today, all of you returned missionaries out there, all of you members that met us while we were still serving in your area, we'd like to hear from you.
Yes.
Please reach out so we can reconnect and talk about those amazing memories that we once had. Yeah.
Great. Me too. I'm looking forward to the same. And I'm looking forward to learning a lot from you guys. And all these experiences that these guys have shared with me and with you, I believe that we've obtained a lesson or two. And with that, let us just continue sustaining one another. You've got a great story to tell. And that story has a lot of things for one to learn. And those lessons will be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a portion about us and also about what we do about AfroSaints. Keep liking and subscribing to our channel and also keep following. And don't forget to share AfroSaints. Don't forget to share. I mean, we love sharing.
Should we jump in on that line?
I mean, that's the important part, man, where we reach out, you know what I mean? Yes.
Okay, guys. This is us from AfroSaints, the Afros. Already someone is calling me Afro.
Hey, bro.
I showed up in Young Sigwada activity yesterday. Someone was already calling me, hey, Afro, what's up?
It's good. It's good. They're identifying us as that. And we are proud to have that identity, huh?
We are Afros.
We are Afros,
Alright, we gotta love you and leave you. And this is us from AfroSaints. Say bye till we meet each other again in the next episode.
Cheers.